just would like to talk more about what Habesi is, which is the creative offering that you have been interacting with and bear witness to. Habesi is a creative collaboration between myself and a number of artists here that will introduce themselves shortly and share more about their creative process. It was the brainchild of Kx'am. Kx'am is my non-profit company and one of the directors of Kx'am. And our vision is to research, restore, and disseminate Khoi arts, culture, healing, ways of being, knowing, just everything about us, you know, reviving and just breathing that consciousness back into this plane, back into our people. And this is our first project, and we are honored to have had Ouma Katrina to support our vision and to be the icon of who we decided to be inspired by in order to reach our creative offering. We approached Ouma. The idea behind Habesi means roots, and the implication of roots is land. It's belonging, it's connectivity, it's healing. And I mean that literally from the herbal medicine. It speaks to our relationship with nature. I could go on and on and on. And so we found that that word spoke to what we were trying to create and the message we were trying to tell, story we were trying to tell. The idea was to look at land, how the dispossession of land has affected indigenous people, and to reimagine what future we might live in the present and in the future. Had we not been interrupted by apartheid, had we not been interrupted by colonization, what would that future look like? It was an exercise in dreaming, and we had to walk the dream in order to tell the story. And when I sat at Ouma's feet, I feel like, you know, one of those anthropologists that came to Africa and just had this view of all the, you know, like an idea of a story that you already have the story in your head and you kind of want this person to feed it back to you because you're like, okay, I know the story, just tell me what I want to know. Then you write it down and wrap this up. And just meeting Ouma, bring it up. I cry every time, I'm gonna skip past that part.
Come on.
But I went there with the view to tell the story of physical infrastructure, soil, land. We need a place to be, a physical place to be. And meeting Ouma taught me that when we talk about Khoi identity and land, it's about inner landscape. Who are we as a people? And that is really what has been stripped from us. And that is really what we need to reconnect with. I'm not saying that we don't need physical infrastructure. I'm not saying we shouldn't have human rights, but the roots of what we have lost is who we are. And Ouma embodies what I find is that sense of gravity. She's like, what are all the planets orbit the sun? She's like the sun, you know? And it has really been an honor to walk this journey with you, Ouma Katrina, and to be transformed by the experience. But what I found was funny is that we spoke to Ouma and she taught us a lot and she shared a lot of her experiences with us. And she spoke about how things used to be, and she spoke about how things are. How free we used to be, free to hunt, free to be, free to love, and how we are in the current state where we treat each other, there's no unity, there's very little love, it's like every man for themselves and kill or be killed situation. We spoke to the past and the present, and when I asked her about the future, I imagined that she would paint this like, you know, you imagine sci-fi movies, like floating objects and just weird things, And her answer to the reimagined future was to take it back to the past. So it came entirely full circle, And we imagine that the past is ancient and outdated and that the current and the future is modern. But what Ouma taught me is that modern future is based on our ancient knowing and ancient practices that need to be restored and re-embodied. And I was grateful for that lesson. Wow. And I was grateful to be humbled in that moment. And I'm grateful to have been chosen to experience this lesson and to share this lesson. And grateful to everybody here for sharing the experience, for believing in what we are here to share. And it's just been a very touching, warming experience. So I am also one of the poets featured. So the poetic offering I had was inspired by meeting Ouma and what she taught me. And I'm just going to give the mic to the rest of the creators that were involved in the project to share their creative process and whatever they feel inspired to share in this moment. I'm going to start with Stando Masuku, who is the photographer and videographer who captured these beautiful images that are currently being exhibited on the wall. Loves being in the background. Is acting like you can't hear me right now. Just sit here with us like 1 minute.
Thank you, Candice. As you mentioned that I was being in the background, the only time I hold the mic is when I'm sitting up or doing something. I was approached late, early January to be part of the project, but it took a while for me to get introduced to Candice, understand the scope of the project, I'm used to capturing artists, developing their careers. I never imagined I'd be part of something where we are preserving a whole culture, addressing issues beyond my parents, my grandparents. When she told me that I would speak, which is a few minutes ago,
Surprise.
I kept on wondering which story, can I, tell from the trip. It was a very, long, mind-opening and a beautiful trip, which it taught me that my work is not just for me. It's not just to put my name out there. It's for the next generation, which is exactly what Ouma is doing. Let me actually, face her. And before we went to the Kalahari on the road, I kept on emphasizing, I'm not sure how I'm gonna actually do the whole work thing. I've never worked with someone as old as Ouma, because I did research before going there, reading on her. She's 90. I'm used to working with young people, stand there, sit here, how am I gonna do this Ouma, and even the language barrier was something I was very concerned about, because, she speaks Afrikaans, and so I didn't know how we were gonna direct the whole thing. Little did I know, I was really a superstar. These are just the tip of the iceberg. She's been interviewed by many people, taken pictures of. She's a model by now. She's also a musician, as you've heard from the album. She's a teacher, she's an icon, she's a mother, she's a grandmother to the beautiful, great-grandmother. Not a lot of people can have the privilege of learning from people from way back. Most of us are taking our history from online, the little that our parents remember. So I really enjoyed working with her. I hope this work goes on to, tell many generations of what happened in the past, and I hope it does take us one step forward into moving back to the past and addressing all of the issues, that affected us as a people in this land and, in the world at large. Thank you.
People will surprise you acting shy and when they come and run the whole show. Make me look bad. I'm going to invite Alden Kosinati up. Okay, let me move on to Sam. Are you good? Okay, to share. So Alden Kosinati is an indigenous multi-instrumentalist who uses frequency to reactivate genetic memory. What a mouthful, right? But it's real. I've always been touched by his work and inspired, and this is a beautiful moment to share. Dreams do come true.
Thanks, guys. So I think I'll just share briefly what I was asked to contribute or work together with the project Habesi. But I really would like a moment to listen to one song from the project work that was inspired by the trip. That was my contribution, was to listen to the narratives and from the past, the present, and future. And I work with traditional indigenous classical instruments and the culture, the medicine. So, but I'm also very interested in the technology. Like, if no one interrupted us, what would we have created? What technology would we have? And I always console myself with violence from the past by saying, at different times, nations fall and rise. If you look back, it happens to everyone. I really feel like we're on that rising. And so I always try to take the moment to learn as much, share, but also just to see where, now what can we do with all the technology that is available. And then we add our indigenous tech, and then we create technology that's going to service us for people. So I just like to play a small listening session. The title of the offering is Uppington 8 North.
Wow!
This is based on Ouma, one of Ouma's stories that looks past at what happens when the Huuke, or when the medicine people start to take spirits out of people. And then the positionality of Uppington as a space of dispossession, but also forced removal, and just putting both those histories together to say. And I try to blend that consciousness in one. So maybe, thank you so much, just briefly.